And a very good morning to you all. Welcome back to Polo Line TV. This is the very first tournament of the high goal season here in the UK 2022. It's the Prince of Wales Trophy, the famous trophy whose home is the Royal County of Berkshire Polo Club. We're here in Berkshire. It's the Justarinian Brooks Prince of Wales Trophy, a fantastic wine cellar, one of the most historic wine merchants in London. And we're at the beautiful Lelion farm, Lelion Great Oaks, home of Dylan Bacon and his team Great Oaks. But first, let's introduce the guests that are Park Place, Vara. And at number 1 is Josh Hyde, 0 goals. Number 2, Juan Britos, 8 goals this year. Number 3, Hilario Joa, a flat 10. And at number 4, Santos Merlos, 4 goals. Great Oaks is James Bime, 6 goals at number 1. He's spearheading this team. Dylan is playing number 2 with 2 goals. Juan Martin Nero off a cheeky 9 is 3 goals. And then at the back is Cruz Heggie with 5 goals. Our umpires for today, Ben Turner, Jason Dixon, third man Tim Bound. You can see the beautiful barns there, so all of the horses coming out from those barns for the Great Oaks team. We've got a few horse lists here. Dylan will be coming out on Peaches. James Bime on Open Ballada. Juan Martin Nero on Continent. Cruz Heggie on Nina. So you can see Will Harper's there on the field. He's coming out on Munition. Hilario Joa on Sunset, and Juan Britos will be riding on Torcasa. Superb definition with the drone footage that we're getting. And we've got absolutely immaculate weather conditions to match this field. By the way, a brand new field this year. Some wholesale changes made to this number 1 ground here at Lelion. We're in Hollyport, which is still technically in Berkshire. We've got the teams lining up. Park Place Vara in yellow and Great Oaks in blue. Turning the ball with a distinctive black helmet and orange armband is Hilario Joa. This team has been playing with great success in the US Open. Pretty much exactly the same team, apart from the addition of a Merlos. So very quickly, Cruz Heggie given the ball. Taken away by Hilario Joa, and he is literally miles ahead of all the other players as he comes in. It's a little bit wide, but he's come right down to a hand canter. No urgency. And how did that happen? Absolutely astounding. But Juan Marnero, the most famous back of all time, takes it away with Cruz taking care of Hilario Joa, who almost had it too easy in that run. Up to Dylan Bacon. Dylan Bacon sees the goal. He's going to shoot from there. He's been balling in a very disciplined manner before this game. Britos comes, knocks over a post. So very eventful first minute here in this opening chukker. We've got Hilario Joa, misses the ball on the way to goal completely unimpeded. We've got Juan Britos, who knocks over a post trying to clear that attempt at goal by Dylan Bacon. He got the clearance in, but then knocked the post over in the meantime. So we'll just have a brief pause. We've got spares in the wings, ready and waiting. So the ones to watch in this will be the Suns, the next generation. Santos Merlos off 4 goals and Cruz Heggie off 5. Santos Merlos, the son of Sebastian Merlos. And then Cruz Heggie, the son of the famous Russo Eduardo Heggie. Right, so our remodelling of the goal area is complete. Post is up. Umpires get back on their horse. Bring it in. Ulloa. Ulloa pumps it over to the left where Britos is there waiting. You'll have Nero up against him. This is Santos Merlos up to the front. Cruz Heggie with a tail shot. Cruz Heggie passes, ridden off it. Is the number 3, Cruz Heggie. 2 Cruzes. So we'll try and refer to them by their surnames as much as we can. You can see Josh Hyde just getting a little bit zealous there in that ride-off. Coming in front and getting the backhand in. But he's been playing in various finals, some of which they won over in Florida this year. And really making his mark on the international high goal scene. The brother of Jack Hyde, himself a very talented 5-goal player. This is a penalty 5B from the centre to be taken by Cruz Heggie, who looks up. Bring it around. Britos gets control. Cuts into the middle. Cruz Heggie waiting for him. Taken out of the picture by Juan Martín Nero. Nero takes it round to the outside. Stops, draws to the outside of Hyde. Pumps it into the middle. Cruz Heggie moves on to it. Cruz Heggie sees Dylan Bacon up in front, who waits, lets Cruz run in, and he's just a little bit too far past the posts. So Hilario bringing in the knock-in. Lofts it over to the left where Britos has plenty of space. Leaves it for Hilario, who then resumes that attack down the left-hand side. And Britos. Britos keeps pushing through. Bacon coming to mark him. Britos has a shot at goal. Doesn't quite make it. Gives it back to Great Oaks for their first hit-in. From this end. Is to be taken by Cruz Heggie. Sees Nero go off to the right and then decides to run it left. He's got plenty of space there, but he's on his own as all the other players committed to the other side, but he keeps trying. Stops. Has to resume the play this way. I think this is Nero. Nero cuts in, waiting for Britos, lifts his stick, sees Hilario Ulloa there. In comes Cruz Heggie. Cruz Heggie called for the tail, but decides to turn it himself. He's still got Britos to get past. Is he going to try and hit a clean one? He hits it way over anyone's heads to Dylan Bacon. Dylan Bacon runs, catches the ball as he's going with it. Gets himself into the corner, so goes for a steep shot that he doesn't quite arrive at. James Bime is there to pick it up, but on the line already was Hilario Ulloa. And not clear what the call was there. And then perhaps it was... as it's moved all the way down. No, it's taken from the spot, which suggests to me that it will be in favour of the defenders while we have a half-time break and the players come back momentarily. You can see Will Harper here. Okay, forgive me. We had on this list, we had Santos Merlos. It's not Santos Merlos at all. It's Will Harper, and he's a completely different specimen altogether. And he's just jumped onto Poja. And Britos gets onto Bachata. So a lot of changes to the team list, a lot of people being held up by visas this year that are taking a while to be processed. And so almost every team is affected, with a couple of players missing. I believe Boto Castagnola might still be waiting for entry into the UK, Polito Pires, and that's just the stars. There's all sorts of team members, managers, players, grooms that maybe haven't made it, but we do still have the complete 10 teams for this tournament, and even more for some of the others going forward. But this splendid weather, great way to open up the Justinian Brooks, Prince of Wales. As I said, it was a penalty to the defending team, taken by Ulloa. Cruz Heggie, first one to meet it. Harper, in with a tail shot. Britos up ahead of Nero. Nero comes in to try and get a forward slash hook on the near side. Ulloa puts it over the top to Britos. Britos doesn't miss from here. Even with Cruz Heggie on his tail. There it is, the first goal, making it 1-0 to Park Place Sparta. Look at this replay. Gets onto it perfectly. Cruz Heggie can only watch, leans out, tries to get the hook, but in the end it drifts over. We'll see another replay from overhead. Beautiful speed and anticipation from Britos, playing the number 2 there. Back in we go, Ulloa. Just trying to get round the outside of Juan Martin Nero. Ends up having to leave it for Will Harper. And you can see that Bime comes in and tries to impede him here. Nero just keeping it away from Britos. I'm going to play a little bit of cat and mouse as he comes here, running the gauntlet down through Britos and Ulloa. And he makes the pass. It's not quite long enough. Waiting for it was Dylan. But in comes Ulloa. Ulloa bouncing it forward, catching it on the near side. Lovely volley that he managed to get it with there. The backhand comes in from Beim. Backhand in turn from Will Harper, but Kruzhegi's up in front if he can get past Harper and Hyde. And he's got a chance, but he had to take it with a tricky shot on the near side. And in the end, it was Hilario Ulloa who comes out on this grey here. He's in a race now as he's got to get back. Going back is, James Beim has to get back. Come through, Dylan Bacon sweeps it away, but gives it back inadvertently to Ulloa. Ulloa shoots and just places that one a little bit wide. Hilario Ulloa, who changed that grey, is Seriedad. As they go off for the end of the first chukka. So we'll have a short ad break at the moment. It's a 2-goal lead, and we'll be back for the second chukka very shortly. Okay, we're back on the field. The Vara team haven't quite got their back on the horses, but most of the Great Oaks team are mounted, so I'll tell you a little bit of their lineup. We've got Dylan Bacon riding Mega Melodia. James Beim's on Twiglet. Juan Monero is on Piltrafa. And Cruz got Orgia. So Juan Britos, you can see just riding into the picture here, is riding Rajueya. Hilario Ulloa is on Casale. Will Harper is riding Venera. So 2-goal lead to the team in yellow. Britos always very active there in the line out. Juan Monero signalling across at some point, and the umpires seeming to agree as we move further upfield. Kruzhegi initiates this chukka with a 5-8. He punches through to Juan Monero. Juan Monero now. Juan Monero wheels it round, gets past Ulloa pretty easily, then finds his way all the way to the back line, but just a little bit too soon as he comes a little bit fast in the approach to goal. So Hilario Ulloa brings it back in. You can see Britos is making a run out to the right, but then decides to against that and goes back to the left again, and that's where Hilario puts it, and it was a nicely read play by both of those. Dylan comes back, gets in there early with the ride-off, puts the tail in, and that's a perfect pass there as Juan Monero on full speed comes in, has another go at goal. Is that good? It was just this one that little bit closer, but beautiful play there, interplay between Dylan and Juanma. Juan Martin Nero wasting no time, moving quickly on Piltrafa. Got most of the horses in his pony lines are his own breed, actually. This is Britos. Britos powers the shot up the field. Still lands in play, but Cruz Hegi's there, taking care of Harper before he can bring it back the other way and pass it up to his teammates. Tucks it underneath Harper, waits for the right moment, puts the pass in. Straight one, first one to try and get onto it is Bacon, but Ulloa puts it in the path for Britos, and then coming to get him on the near side is Bacon. Bacon ends up riding over it just as Britos checks up. So the anticipation for this looks to me to be a 40-yard penalty. Sorry, 60. Distance a little bit deceiving, and now that I do see them there on the field. Hilario Ulloa to take the 60. Oh, beautiful lofted shot, goes into the neighbouring property and puts another one on the board for Park Place Vara. So now down by 3 goals. Great Oaks with just ever such a slight pressure as they go back to the centre. Whistle blown and the clock stopped for a second. I think picking up a horseshoe. Jason Dixon delivers it off field. And we get straight back into the action. First one onto the ball is Cruz Hegi. Far outplaying his handicap today in this game. Juan Monero just waiting for a second. Puts a nice pass through to Cruz Hegi, who picks it up smoothly with Josh Hyde waiting to try and escort him away from play. No, that was Harper actually that was waiting with him in case the angle got any tighter, but in the end he pumped it out to the right. Ulloa. Britos. Stops, leaves it for Ulloa. Such beautiful interplay between these two. Ulloa hits it past Baim and up into the path of Britos. Britos tries to continue going forward. Josh Hyde can't quite get it underneath him, so it's up to Hegi. And Hegi now comes across, finds himself plenty of space, moves forward. See Harper coming to challenge him again. This time Harper might get the inside track on him and the backhander. Yes, he does, but it bounces straight off the front of Hegi. You can see Hegi nice and relaxed here, but not maybe a little bit too relaxed as Ulloa comes in and puts it right out to the boards for Harper to try and chase up. Juan Monero comes across with Josh Hyde trailing behind him and incurs the whistle. We might see that again. Just see how close he was, but here's the backhander from Ulloa. And you can see the Harper gets on the line. I think maybe in other countries that might have been enough space, but not here, so that'll be given away to Park Place Farah. It'll be interesting to see the stats at halftime. We're only in the second chukker here, but I think that most of the fouls have racked up in Farah's favour. Quick change, you can see Hilario Joa there is on changed himself onto Clarissa. Juan Britos, who we're focusing on here, is riding Prussia. But this is Hilario Joa, comes in for the penalty, one touch. Britos went over to the left, but he opts to give it to him on the left, but coming in, hunting him down is Dylan Bacon. Dylan Bacon comes riding close. Britos goes for the acceleration, gets past Dylan, keeps it out in front of him. He's got the goals in his sights. He's going to make the pass or just run it from there. He does the whole job himself, puts it through, goal number 4. Superb play from Britos. I have to say it makes a difference when you've been playing in tournaments at this speed, at this competitive level, because no amount of practices can really get you into the place you need to be before a high goal tournament. You've either got to play or not play. The practices obviously you have to do, get the horses up to speed, but it's going to take you a few games to get into the speed yourself, and you can tell here so far, even in these few chukkers, how the difference of that match experience, that tournament experience, is paying off with these two, Britos and Hilario Joa. So another one for Joa. Once again, a foul in favour of Park Place. Farah. Nero tries to come away with a backhander. In comes Krusegi. Just a little in front of Will Harper. Stops, tucks in behind Harper. Next move for him. He puts it out to the side for Nero. Nero draws up. Sees Britos. There's no one up there in front for him to pass to, but Dylan Bacon is making a run. Gives it to Krusegi again, who's got that little bit of space, who then makes the drive himself. Dylan looks online to receive that if no one comes in between, but coming down the other way was Hilario Joa. Smacking that one to a stop on the near side was Juan Martin. He got out of the way quickly before fouling. Here comes Cruz. Cruz took it on the offside when he had a near over in front of Will Harper, so well left by Harper. Straight into the action. Picked up by Juan Monero. Juan Monero with the pressure from Harper, but quickly slips to the right side of him. Now he's got to wait for Harper to clear, or Harper has to clear. Harper took it without incurring a whistle. Maybe Juan Monero left it for too long, but Harper's here, turns it quickly and heads in towards the goal. If he finishes this, it'll be spectacular. He's already had a bit of a fumble, but it's not too late to pick it back up again, and then takes a shot which ends up drifting left. Handy play there from young Harper, who changed himself onto Azúcar versus Juan Monero, who had switched onto one of his own breed, Alpha. See this play here. This is James Bime. 30 seconds left of play. James Bime stops, leaves it for Juan Monero, who's got plenty of time in behind. Nero has that one stopped by Harper. Harper just coming into zone now a little bit in this game. Look at the speed on which Hilario Ulloa switched round and put it a little bit further up the field, but the whistle blows, which brings us to the end of the second chukker. And now Park Place Farah have doubled their score, whilst Great Oaks remain static on 0. No goals scored so far in this game. They're going to have some severe words. They're conceding most of the fouls, and a lot of that is leading to goals conceded too. See, there's a little polo field behind here. You can see on that one. That's a tiny little field right behind Great Oaks itself. So Great Oaks and Les Lions and neighbouring properties, but now all come under the Great Oaks umbrella. So we're leading straight back into the game. We've got most of the players. We've already started play. I'll tell you a few of the horse changes when I get them, when we have a minute. But for the moment, it's Dylan Bacon catches a bouncing ball on the near side, puts it through. It's a lovely goal, a great way to restart. Reset after 4-goal concession in those early 2 chukkers, making sure the third is not of the same ilk. And Dylan there came on to Paprika. Yeah, he's been playing all over the place actually, Dylan. He played a little bit in a little bit of arena, but mostly he's played in Argentina, and he played in Samoritz this year on snow for laughs. Hilario Ulloa now. Ulloa with a sweeping backhand that I think didn't go the way he wanted it to. Who's riding now Napolitana. Huge shot there from Cruz Heggie. Will Harper coming in to dismiss James Bime. Backhander there from Ulloa, perfectly placed for Britos. Britos with a backhander of his own, doesn't get there, so it's up to Harper. Harper who takes it but can't keep it. Juan Monero feigns a backhander shot, turns quickly, then moves straight back into attack up to the halfway line. It's neck and neck with him and Ulloa. Ulloa's out in front. Ulloa draws it forward. And that might be one of the few that they've won. So things looking to go a little bit more in Great Oaks' favour in this chukker there, as the foul given against Juan Martin Nero. And again, you can see here that Juan Monero was clearly claiming that angle, and Ulloa thought that he'd come in far enough. To me on the camera, it looked like Juanma was gaining speed, so you wouldn't get away with accelerating away from that line and keeping that clean. And as Great Oaks were attacking, they'll be taking the penalty, but they've been drawn back. So no foul in the end there. They had moved, they'd anticipated the penalty, but actually they ended up giving a throw-in instead. I would love one of these days to be mic'd up to the umpires, but we're not ready for that just yet. I'm happy to keep it on mute from my end. Juan Monero stops. Doesn't quite get the ball. Ooh, hard bump there from Cruz Heggie and Ulloa off the play. That took the wind out of Cruz Heggie there. And you can see here, he just goes, oof, dear. Cruz Heggie was looking in a different direction. It's great that the umpires saw it, but it's definitely going to result in a penalty, and I'll be surprised if it's just a 60. It was the classic T-bone. Cruz Heggie managed to get a penalty. Was not as settled there on Nikon, but just before the hit, he managed to get a clean hit and took it up to 4-2. So nice recovery here from Great Oaks. They clearly just had a word in their tent in between the second and third. Now they're back in action. Juan Monero lifts up high for the hit, but it comes off the back of Baim and ends up in the hands of Britos. Britos draws it over away from Baim, but Baim tries to come in, but Britos is too quick. Keeps the ball with him. No, he loses it too. Ulloa comes in and wins himself some space. Juan Martin Nero coming in for the pressure. He takes it all the way around. Juan Martin's got the inside track, but Ulloa is still there. Can Ulloa hit it? He's got Juan Martin taking care of Ulloa, so it's up to Bacon to go back. No, it's Cruz Heggie that comes, and he gets hooked off that one there. I think that was Hyde that hooked him there. And Juan Martin Nero now stuck in the corner, looking for someone to pass to, but Cruz Heggie is on the left-hand side and racing, and he managed to get away from Will Harper, but Britos is there coming back in defence, tucks it over to the left. Harper moves onto that line nice and quick. Baim dismisses Harper and helps Bacon win the ball for a second, but Ulloa is in there. Ulloa is just everywhere, covering everything. Cruz Heggie thought twice about coming in and hooking that. Ulloa saw the ball bounce out of his reach and decided to hit it out anyway to deny them possession. Quick half time change here now. So we've got ORS, part of the Clinova company that is moving in a big way into polo in these days, in this high goal season. ORS rehydration tablets, lovely after a game of polo, especially on a hot day. Back into the game. We've got the last half chukker of this half. So taking this penalty is going to be Cruz Heggie, who's riding Nokia. And he gets it away before Britos, who ended up overcommitting and finds himself at the back of the game. And Kruzhegi's already running into the centre, cuts into the centre, but still got to get it past Ulloa. Takes the shot at goal. Absolutely superb play from him. Kruzhegi just exceptional at the level of these other more senior players already. Look at this, cuts into the middle, sees the gap. Ulloa's there, but he goes for it anyway, takes a shot, and laser accuracy from him. Back into the play now, Juanma Nero. Nero, who's riding Fanta, another one of his own breed. Ball in front of the goal, Britos puts his stick down, Nero's still there, calls for the foul, but takes a shot at goal anyway. Did it go through? I don't think it did. Maybe that what he thought was an impediment to his line stopped him from hitting it as straight. Did the trick for Vara anyway, so it's going to be them that bring the ball back in. Ilario Ulloa. Ulloa over to Britos. Britos here on Transnoche. Ulloa dismisses by him, keeps on taking it out towards the side, then tucks it in behind Kruzhegi so he can't get to it. Manages to get a next shot, lovely play from him. Attempt at backhand by Nero, but he doesn't get a clean one on that one. Here comes Josh Hyde trying to wrestle through to get past. But then here's Baim. Baim on his own, completely on his own, coming through, riding on Days, stops, draws it up. He's got Kruzhegi there, but he's got to get it away from Britos. The umpire calls for yellow to clear. He makes the pass perfectly to Juanma Nero. Juanma looks up. He sees Dylan up at the front. Kruzhegi pokes it forward. Kruzhegi. Oh, just put it to the left. Puts it to the left. That would have been the equaliser and would have been a spectacular play. But still 4-3. We see a replay of that one. No, we don't have a replay on that one just yet. Ulloa riding Harmonica now. Gives it over to Britos. Britos pumps it into the middle. Trying to meet it with a full swing. Ambitious was Dylan Bacon, and watching that play, coming in behind, still with an eye on the last play, was Juan Martin Nero, who crossed in front. Look at this cut shot here from Britos. Going for the full swing there. Coming through on the near side. I think the precedence being given to Josh Hyde in that play means another foul in favour of Vara. So that is the end of Chukka number 3, and we move straight into the second half after a short ad break. So welcome back. A glorious view of the Royal County of Berkshire Polo Club, an historic club that used to be the horse racing training yard for Major Ronald Ferguson back in the day, and turned into one of the principal clubs of the British scene by the late great Brian Morrison. And here's a couple of stats of this particular game. We can see out of all the goals that have been scored, the three that 3 are field goals for Park Place Vara, 2 for Great Oaks. Field goals. Fouls committed was not as tipped in the favour of Park Place Vara as I thought. Great Oaks have only committed 6 to Park Place's 5. No yellow cards, thank goodness so far. And throw-ins is pretty even. So now we're going to have an interview with Mark Tomlinson from Monterosso Vikings team that beat King Power in overtime yesterday. So let's have a word with Mark. Welcome back to Les Lions for the Justinian Brooks, Royal County of Berkshire. First of the season's high goal tournaments. You can see the progression of the goals so far between these teams. PPV stands for Park Place Vara. They scored 2 in the first and another 2 in the second. And then it got pretty static as Great Oaks made a comeback, almost scoring a 4th in that third chukker. Cruz Heggie just putting it to the left, but a spectacular play nevertheless. So really getting into their stride is this Great Oaks team. Our social media's been popping. We got saying hi to us on Instagram. You can hit us up on Instagram. We've got Polar Line featuring on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Emily Thaya Marshot, good morning from Wellington. So that's pretty early morning in Wellington, I would imagine. It's only 11:50 here. Tim Lewis, or is it Steve Wall, live from Les Lions, so he must be here and thereabouts. Dan Maisano, woohoo! Not even an exclamation mark, just woohoo. And then he's been texting us from Australia, so I have absolutely no idea what time it is there. So, back onto the field. You can see we've got Park Place Vara team ready to go. Britos, you can see in the middle of the screen, is riding Venus. His captain, Hilario Joa, riding Dinamita. And Will Harper for them is on Delta. Which Great Oaks players can we see? Juan Marnero is riding Altanera, another one of his. James Byrne on Nizalco. Dylan Bacon's got one from McDonough's, Irenita Catalana. And then Cruz Heggie is riding Batucada. Love that name. Okay, so what looked like was going to be a throw-in from just shy of the halfway line has turned into a penalty in favour of Vara. A 30 to be taken by Hilario Joa. That gives them a chance to just increase their lead by a small amount. Oh, it's a lovely penalty from Ulloa. So that's 5-3 before we've even started Chukka number 4. So that should girdle the loins of these Great Oaks teams. As they come back in, we got lucky enough to have them doing the throw in from this half now. Get to see a little bit more of the action. Jason Dixon lines the 2 teams up. You can see at the front there, Britos is playing at 1 and he's put Josh Hyde in behind him. Obviously to take on Baim, who's playing at number 1 here. Interesting dynamic with a lot of teams who's putting senior players up at the number 1, which is what they've always done historically in the Argentine Open, but here in England they always put them at the back with the most senior at 4 and then the next at 3. Here Baim tries to keep it away from Ulloa, tucks it in towards goal in a risky play and then feigns a backhand but then moves it relatively safely over to the other side where he continues running but doesn't get it away from Ulloa in the end. Ulloa, so tenacious, just stayed with him all the way, and here Juan Moniro turns back round, puts it out to the side and reinitiates a bit of a counter-attack. Dylan Bacon trying to keep away Harper on the right there. Nero pumps it up deep into Vara territory now. Coming down that line fast is Dylan Bacon. A little bit too fast, leaves the ball behind. So here's Britos. Britos smacks it over for Hilario Ulloa, but in comes gliding in, but double the speed. Juan Moniro hits a backhand that doesn't go all the way, so Hilario is able to meet it. But here comes Bacon. Bacon moves into the middle now. Dylan just leaves the ball behind there. And Harper was going to try and retrieve it, but it got hit over the back line. Getting it involved at every level is Dylan Bacon. Here, Ulloa looks like he was going to put it across the goal, but then quickly just nudges it over to the right. Same with Britos, he hasn't made his decision yet. Ulloa goes back to back him up, but he knows that Britos might make a run. No, he doesn't. Britos goes off, takes Baim with him, so Ulloa is able to deliver a big one that comes down right in front of Harper, but actually it looks like it's Juan Moniro that takes it over. There's something majestic about the way that Moniro moves around. When you see another player galloping, they look like they're putting every sinew into it, whereas Nero is just like a swan moving from one place to another. Cruz Heggie has been a little bit quiet in the second half so far. Heggie smacks it in for Dylan, but Dylan gets caught up with Hyde, and Britos is able to come in. Britos leaves it behind. Uncharacteristic fumble for him, but it's fine because his captain is here. Ulloa looks up. Josh Hyde stays close for the action. Just on a little bit on his own for the moment as Baim comes in, releases it for Juan Moniro. Juan Moniro with a golden opportunity here as he's ahead of Harper. Harper accelerates. The first shot that Nero did was over to the left, so he's going to have to wait and just try and cut in behind them. He checks up, angles himself, and then just hits the shot. Perhaps he gauged that he wasn't going to make it before they did, so he didn't want to take a shot that maybe got hooked, so he cut in behind them, made the safe play, but didn't quite take that angle. Vara reassessing Ulloa. Half-time change, you can see Great Oaks going back to their barn. And a splendid barn designed and built by the Gottschalk family, who still do come and play here from time to time. Max Gottschalk himself, very handy 2-goal player. He might be off a cheeky 1 these days. Dylan Bacon with his erstwhile Gonzalo Garcia del Rio there, who's been with him since he was 15 years since Dylan was 15 years old. Britos. Absolutely superb player of 8 goals. It won't be on 8 goals for very long. Britos just jumped onto Patita. Harper, who's next to him there, is on Cartridge. Ulloa is on Neblina now. I think we saw that grey that Josh Hyde, I don't have the name for that one, but Josh Hyde was riding that one in the States. And look at the beautiful Berkshire. And this really is, May is always a lovely month, but it is spectacular. It feels like June already. Full bloom. Just a little bit of rain, but enough to soften the fields and bring out England's best green. Pumping it downfield. Met by Juan Monero. Juan Monero trying to keep it away from Will Harper and Britos at the same time, still with possession. Baim takes it, but leaves it for Juanma, who calls him off it, takes a shot himself. This one out to the left. Ulloa now. Ulloa being shadowed by Baim. He's going to try and race Baim. He gets around the outside for a second, but it's up to Hyde now. Hyde's been taken out of the picture by Nero. Nero comes in front, takes it in front of Hyde. One's given to Vara. Ulloa launches it, but it's to the left of the post, so no score there. Still 5-3. We've stayed pretty static here. Just the one additional goal for Park Place Vara right at the very beginning of this half. Cruzegui brings it back in. Cruzegui, who's switched on to open Pasajero, and Elestina Gelding. And here's Juan Monero, who's now riding Venecia. Once again, a Juan Monero breed. He's been doing really well with his of late. Coming in behind him is Dylan Bacon, who gets ridden off by Josh Hyde, who puts it back, but the first one to move on to it is Nero. Will Harper goes in to cover Cruzegui and make sure that he's not able to receive a pass here. Cruzegui moves in behind Nero. Britos just impeding Nero. Nero takes a big swipe, but he doesn't get it, so it's up to Cruzegui to try and take it again. Is he going to leave it for Nero? Take the shot himself. He's been firing pretty well so far in this game. He takes a shot, but that one is over to the right. So it's still their first game. Not quite calibrated properly. By the end of this tournament, you're going to see them buzzing and heading it from 80 yards out straight through the flags. bring it in from the right. They decided to give this one to Harper to bring in. He puts in a nice pass, and that's actually perfect for Britos, who's coming down that line. Nero comes in, takes it on the offside, puts the tail in that Kruzhegi picks up. Kruzhegi decides to go to the left of Dylan Bacon and Harper, and then angle his way back in, but things got a bit complex over there, and Hilario Joe was able to come in, sweep up, take the ball away. But now Baim slowing things down in attack still. Great Oak still pressing into that goal, getting ever closer, ready to take the shot. There isn't a clear set. Will Harper anticipates that one, reacts quickly, gets it out to Britos. Britos tucks it underneath Kruzhegi, and then Ulloa. Ulloa looks like he's taking off at full speed to get past Nero. Nero and him still running neck and neck. Nero still got the inside track, so he might be able to push him out. He gets the backhand on the near side, but picking it up is Britos. Britos keeps less than 20 seconds left of play. The ball bounces. He picks it up incredibly, still manages to connect with it, carries it all the way through, and is it a goal? The ball hit back to him, but with cat-like reflexes, he managed to keep it out in front of him. And then the skirt located in front of goal, but hopefully we can have another look at that now. Onto the near side, switches onto the near side. You got a Great Oaks player static there in the middle, but he still manages to wheel round him and put it through. Lovely play from him. So, quick chukker change, short ad break, and we'll be back for chukker number 5. Juan Martin Nero riding Diabla, Dylan on Nota Almendiza, Kruzhegi on Anei Sur. The ball's in. Got a few hellos from abroad I'll tell you about shortly. Scrabbling around underneath him, Will Harper puts it out, and Juan Nero puts in an open shot into the middle, but that's up to Britos, who takes it out, leaves Baim behind, moves into the centre. Dylan Bacon coming up to try and challenge Britos. Britos stops, just keeps it short while Dylan accelerates on. And here comes, very quick as a flash, it's James Baim here. James Baim moving nicely in towards the goal now. There's the approach shot. He's going to hit it from here, or one more touch, and then the finish. Lovely reactions there from James Baim, riding on Izalco, who made it goal number 4, the long-awaited goal number 4. I'm going to see the replay here. That's the finish, and then I wonder if we see that quick change of direction here that leads him to this long run that he finished off. Back into the middle. Ball goes all the way through to the other side, but Nero gets a stick to it. And then Harper. Bacon with the backhander. Juan Monero. And again, Baim. Baim exceptional now, finding his right position. Just waiting calmly for the ball to settle a little bit. Draws up. There's still a bit of time before Will Harper gets to him. He's going to have to come in and face the goal and then take the shot, but you can see that. But Ulloa got the ride off and enabled Will Harper to hit a backhander. So going up to pick it up again is Mr. Juan Martin Nero, one of the most famous players in the world. Juan Britos, Kruzhegi, Will Harper, punched away from him by Nero. Nero wheeling it round. He's going to have another go himself. Takes the shot. It's rolling, it's rolling, it's rolling. Is it good? No. It's behind the goal. And the pressure, just amping it up a little bit, is Great Oaks. So Will Harper's now taking all knock-in duties so that Hilario and Britos can make a run for it. And you can see Hilario here gets on the right side of it. Lovely pass there by Harper. They made a good call on that one. Keeps it in play, but Kruzhegi comes back with plenty of space
tries just to nudge it away on the inside of his mallet on the near side, but that was going a little bit too fast for that. Oh, and that'll be a foul against Juan Marnero. Very hot on heading into the horse in front there. It's a discretion call by the umpires whether the man in front should clear and move out of the way of the block or the hitter. But in this case, they're giving it against the hitter and putting it on the 60-yard mark. The great Hilario Ulloa to take this 60-yard penalty. It's good to me. It seemed immaculately straight there. And back to the middle we go. Loving these high lofted shots of this beautiful county we're in. It's kind of the Berkshire is a sort of equivalent to Wellington or Pilar. I'm hesitant to compare to Pilar because I'm told these days there's 100 games a day are played in the Pilar area, or at least that polo area outside of Buenos Aires, Pilar, Open Door, Luján, that sort of thing, which is pretty phenomenal. But there's a lot going on here in Berkshire as well. So just a brief glimpse here of the pony lines of Park Place, Vara, Ashlyn Price, the paradigm competent manager, right at the apex of this industry, the high goal polo. So we'll have an ad break. No ad break, sorry. Just a half chucker change. And Cruz Heggie coming out of the Great Oaks pony lines. Cruz is going to be just jumped onto Nanny. And Britos is on Ramona. Who else can we see here on our screen in front of us? Dylan Bacon. Incari Salterita. James Byam, who's always been known for his quality stock in the pony lines, is on a Lovelocks pony. Idealistic. Juan Martinero on Ilustrada. Toki for Hilario Ulloa and Elusive for Will Harper. And I still don't have this Josh Hyde list, I'm afraid. Been asking his bro to send me through anything he's got, but I think he's too intent watching the action. Here, Britos on the near side. Hits it away, so Cruz Heggie can't do anything. Will Harper takes it. Ulloa just lets him go in the right direction. I like that. Just a little bit of confusion there. I think the junior player was expecting the captain to take it himself, but Ulloa just wanted him to run and take it all the way. And that they ended up losing a penalty there to Great Oaks. 7-4 is the score now. 3 goals between these two teams.
Kruzegi teeing that one up to perfection. That's going to fly into the Dubai grounds. It's good. It's a goal. It's 7-5. 2 goals between these two. Slender space to fill. Dixon brings them back for the line out. Haven't seen any of Hilario Joa's stallions yet. Kruzegi is trying to win possession. Britos working his way in there. Here's Bacon. Nice play from him. Keeps it away from both Ulloa and Britos and allows Juan Martin to come in there at full speed. Doesn't quite pick. Yes, he does. He picks it up. He keeps it with him. What's he going to do now? He's going to stop and try and run in behind them again. Just lets Ulloa get out of the way. Pumps it back in towards the goal. Krusegi's on top of it. And he's going to have to beat Britos now before Britos can get the clearance in. He does the same on the other side. He stops again and tries to tuck it in, but he's got away and moved that little bit faster. In he comes, Kruzegi. Look at that. What a way to make a comeback, Kruzegi. 7-5, now at 7-6. All thanks to this young man and his 5 goals handicap. Absolutely terrific play there from them. Helped in the middle by Bacon, who got that nice pass in that was picked up by Juan Marnero. And here is Britos coming over. Looking to put his stick down. Bacon, but Britos is there first. Putting it out to the outside is Ulloa. Pressure from Baim. It's pushing Ulloa around the other way. Ulloa keeps it. And then smacks it up for Britos, but Krusegi's there to release the backhander that falls into the path of Ulloa. Ulloa moved onto that line. Waiting for it was Baim. A little frustration there from Ulloa. See this play again. There's the backhander from Cruz. Moving on to it. Baim was already there, sitting on it. And then moving around, taking it on the other side was Ulloa claiming. But I think they put it there from the spot, but it looks like they're now walking further up. It might be the back chat from Ulloa, but they've decided to move it all the way up to a 60. With the review from the third man, who also has the footage in front of him. Does Tim Bowen have our footage? Kruzegi and another one. He's almost bringing it back on his own, this Kruzegi. But far from it. It's great performance from all 4 of these players. But Kruzegi notches up another one. I'll make a table tomorrow. I'll try and do it myself. Nero releases it. Coming in and winning it on the near side was Dylan Bacon. Here Kruzegi gets down, keeping it away from Hilario just a little bit too long. Hilario with the strong stick. Britos stops, keeps it in behind both. Baim and Bacon, and wins the foul there for Vara. Here's Britos with the line here. He's got Bacon in front of him. And so hit from the spot to Vara to be taken by Ulloa. 16 seconds left of this chukker. Ulloa pushes it up. He sees Britos makes a run over to the left, but he stumbles for a second. He just got caught up. The ground playing absolutely beautifully, but for that moment, it got caught in a divot. And here's Ulloa putting on the pressure, but being pushed out to the right by Baim, but then swivels in, turns on a dime, gets past Nero. In comes the hammer from Cruz Heggie, but it's up to Will Harper, called to turn it. He's got a bit of space there to get it past Baim. Pokes it out in front, the ball bouncing, he's still keeping it down. And Will Harper now, Will Harper with an attempted shot at goal. Just a little bit too late on that next shot, didn't get it through, but amazing control up until this point. The balls he were hitting were just going that little bit too far, but he managed to keep them down and then took the shot at goal, but that was just out of reach. The score 7-7 now as we head into the final chukker. What a game, what a beautiful day. And a lovely scoreline, just as we'd like it for So the entire Park Place Vara team are up and mounted. Britos on Mecha. Ulloa on Boccia. Will Harper on Nirvana. And it's just James Baim here on Gigolo. That's one he's had for a long time. Bam Bam and Gigolo, I think, are his own. Well, certainly his own breed. Maybe not Gigolo, definitely Bam Bam. Juan Monero is riding a very special horse from the Great Oaks Cria called Small Axe that Great Oaks are giving him for this last chukker, so we'll see how much of a nuisance he makes himself to Vara in this one. Dylan himself gets on Cello Gata Vaga. And this Cruz Heggie, give me exactly 4 seconds. And I'll tell you that Cruz Heggie is riding a Maman Hanan. Could be an M, could be an H. This is Juan Monero on Small Axe. Puts it through for Hilario Joa. Again, trying to get it away from James Baim. In comes Britos. Britos backing up Ulloa. Now cutting into the middle himself. Great ball control from him. Looks up. He sees Ulloa's made a run for it. Doesn't quite get the bouncing shot into the next shot, but Hopper's there at the back at number 4. He comes across. Cruz Heggie maybe switched onto that line a little bit quicker than he did. And then we'll see. So you can see the missed shot there by Britos goes down at that angle. And then, that's a very fine angle. But I think that Cruz Heggie had anticipated that little bit sooner, which gives them a pretty crucial penalty at this stage. 7-7, remember, as we're going into the last chukker.
Kruzegi for this. "40-yard penalty makes it count. Krusegi's got almost every single one of his penalties that he's taken in this game. So just phenomenal young player. And of course his father is renowned as being one of the greatest coaches in the world. As well as a famous player. I mean, let's not forget the great Rusohegi. So, backhander out to the side. Perfectly played for Juan Monero on small axe. He's made it out to the side. He's got a little bit of a difficult job now because he's still got Hilario Joa in the middle. But he pumps it through for Cruz. Or is it going to be Baim? Baim is there in front of goal. Can he get the right angle on it before he's past the back line? Yes, he does. And there it is, the goal for Great Oaks. 8-7. They've put themselves into the lead. We've still got Dylan Bacon on the ground. I'm not sure what happened to his foot. Didn't see any plays in the replays, if we can spot him in the background while this is happening. No, we're just focused on this goal. Lovely finish by Baim here on that bay. I think Dylan signalling to the umpire that someone came in and took him. Couldn't spot what happened. That was away from the play. But he looks to be sound. Maybe a little bit of bruise on the thigh. It's 9-7, I think. And the umpire just changed the score from 8-7 to 9-7. I don't know quite where that came from. We'll find out. We'll get to the bottom of that one. This is Hilario Joa turning it quickly. Hilario Joa, look at the way he flicked his wrist just to get that one away from Nero, who was right up next to him. Here's Kruzegi taking his time, backs it out nicely to Juan Monero. Nero pumps it down the side. James Baim's already there. He'd made the run for it. The ball settled just before he hit it. He's got Will Harper on his side. He puts it over to the near side. Will Harper still putting the pressure on, but Baim is there. Doesn't quite get the finish. But spectacular effort just for getting all the way down there and reading the pass perfectly, putting himself in that right position there to keep knocking on the Vara door. Vara, who led the whole game, now finding themselves just lagging a little bit with a 2-goal deficit. And here at the back, can't afford to make these fumbles, bringing in the pressure from Bacon. Bacon just waiting, trying to force an error from Ulloa. Ulloa decides against making the play and leaves it for Harper. Harper with a strong pass right up the middle, perfectly placed. If Brito's going to pick it up, if he gets there before Kruzegi, and then just tucking it under for Britos to pick up was Ulloa, but he didn't quite make it there before Baim put in the open shot. Another one from Harper. Nice play from him. Josh Hyde tries to move on to it, but Baim's there looking over his shoulder, takes it over to the other side. Takes the shot, can't quite take the full shot. In comes Britos. Britos there. Britos thought that as Nero was at a standstill that he could possibly swivel him round. But I'm not sure they're going to let that one fly. Because even though he did, it still ended up with the ball on the right of Nero for him to take. And that's when Britos thought he would come across and take it anyway in front of his neck. Last changes for the game. Joa's got himself, Britos is riding on a gelding called Good. Joa himself is on Intriga. Will Harper will be riding Unica. That's Juan Monero just gets himself onto Pironoma. Irenita. Having a word with Garcia del Rio. Cruz Heggie jumps on Modelo. And Dylan, who's been having a quick word with Jason Dixon on Pancetta. So, crucial final 3.5 minutes. Or should I say 4 minutes? 3.5 minutes, sorry. Nero slams it down to Bime. Bime's in a great position. Bime with a nice, smooth approach, or should I say continuation, but then with a big neck shot that doesn't quite make it to goal. But the pressure is up and Great Oaks are knocking on the door. Vara very much on the back line in the last couple of chukkers since they conceded their lead. But if there's any player or couple of players that personify the word resilience, it's Ulloa and Britos. Britos pumps it right up to Josh Hyde. Josh Hyde's got to get ahead of Cruz Heggie. Cruz Heggie just neutralizes him. Nero comes in, puts in the backhander. Continued by Bacon, blown against Bacon. So Vara move right up the field. Could be an opportunity for them. If they get this one now, then they've got a little bit more of a leisurely approach to the final goal, the equaliser. And then it's anyone's game. So what's the call at this level? A little team chat here as Ulloa takes it. It's a penalty 2. And it's no problem whatsoever for the great Ulloa. And that puts them up to 8 goals, 9-8. Vara just invigorated a little bit now. Who's in there first? Will Harper's reaching down. Cruz Heggie gets away with it. Cruz Heggie out ahead of Britos, looking to get to the right of Ulloa, but Britos comes away with it and just stops his horse almost on his hind legs as he reaches out behind it. Here comes Bacon. Bacon trying to hook Britos, but he's called to get out of the way. This is Britos now over to the left-hand side, tucks it in behind Bime, passes a little short one that's supposed to reach Hyde, but in the end it's Bacon who gets it and turns it, but he doesn't quite finish off that play. Baim comes in with a near side backhander that falls perfectly for Nero. Nero around the outside now, coming in to close the gap is Harper. Nero's going to decide to turn back into the inside, but he's still got to deal with Britos. Puts it out to the right of Britos. Nice clean play from him. Over to the number 1, James Baim for Great Oaks. He's knocking on the door. He's pushed it over the side. And it's still 8-9. 1 minute remaining. Will tip it in Great Oaks' favour. Ulloa hesitates for a second. He's still got Baim putting the pressure on him. Baim up at number 1. Very effective in this attacking position, always pushing them out onto the sides. In fact, both teams have done this very well, getting them right out onto the boards before they have a chance to win that centre ground. And again, Baim breaks through, gives it up to Kruzhegi. Can Kruzhegi get it? No, Kruzhegi's running for the next part of the play, and it's wide. James Baim went for the full shot. Ulloa once again. 4 seconds left. I'm afraid that is it. And Great Oaks have come away with this. The very first game of theirs for the Justinian Brooks Prince of Wales Trophy High Goal Tournament. Justinian Brooks. Justinian Brooks. And what a way to start the day here at this phenomenally beautiful ground. Les Lions, Great Oaks, just defeated by Park Place Farah. Wait, what? No, the score's wrong, no? So Park Place Farah, having led for the whole game, then concede. So we're going to see some of the best of these goals here now. There's a lovely play here by was that Will Harper right at the beginning. This is Britos. Anything Britos has done in this game is phenomenal. He just couldn't pull it out of the bag at the end here. And look at this one, just tucked it in. Dylan Bacon with a nice finish here under the neck. That one was a sweet goal. And look at Cruz here. This is the flurry of goals from Cruz. This one was just phenomenal. Look at that. To have the vision, see the goal there between the horses on his left and Hilario Ulloa. Another one through. Nice, easy one pop through by Kruzhegi, and another one by Kruzhegi. Just a superlative way for him to introduce himself to the scene. And so tomorrow we will be back. Oh, hang on, let's have a look at these field goals. Pretty even, 5-4 for Great Oaks and Park Place. The throw-ins was equal, 9 of them each. The fouls was pretty equal, only one more by Great Oaks. Penalties, Great Oaks got all of their 4, thanks to Kruzhegi. Park Place got 4 out of 5. And so, terrific game. You can see how evenly matched they were. Just Great Oaks coming away with the win at home for them. So a little bit of a disappointment for Park Place Farah.
sign off now? I'm going to sign off now, Seba. What have you got? So, thank you for watching. This is brought to you by Polo Line TV. It's the Royal County of Berkshire Polo Club's Juster Ian Brooks Prince of Wales Trophy. And so our next game is tomorrow morning, and it is Park Place, Andres Park Place versus the Vikings. It'll be played at Saqqara. No, sorry, I got that wrong. It's tomorrow is King Power versus Shibao La Pampa at King Power. Okay, see you then.